Hey, what is up, you guys? It's Dustin, and I am back with another video. How are you doing, Nick?
I am doing super. How are you?
I'm good. I have an assortment of things in this video that I want to go over. I was scrolling
Okay.
TikTok, and there was a bunch of stuff about Carly Russell. If you guys don't remember her, I want to talk about her. I want to also talk about this other TikTok that I found that is one of the funniest things I think I have ever seen in my entire life. And then at the end of this video, I want to talk about Nara Smith. Now, I've never talked about her before, but apparently she's controversial, and the girls are dragging her now.
She's been getting dragged over the past few weeks for a few different things.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about that in this video, so if you're here for that, stay tuned. Okay, so when this came up on my feed today, I saw that Lovely T tweeted this out. I love her. If you guys don't know about her, she's been spilling tea for years. I love her. She's an OG. She tweeted out about Carly Russell, how she is finally breaking her silence a year later after everything that happened with her. Like, I think she should have stayed silent.
First of all, I have to be honest. I completely forgot about her in the situation. It's the
too.
lady that was like going home from work and like pretended that she was like kidnapped and was like gone for like several days.
The hugest waste of
Showed
resources.
up at her house like walking barefoot and all of that. It was
Tried to stage the whole thing. She had so many people worried for her safety.
A Hoover municipal judge has found Carly Russell guilty of 2 misdemeanor charges for the staged kidnapping in July, which made national headlines.
And the judge also recommended Russell pay restitution and serve a year in jail. ABC 3340's Valerie Bell was there in the courtroom today, and she joins us now outside the Hoover Public Safety Center. And Valerie, Russell's attorneys are fighting to keep her out of jail.
Muriel, Carly Russell's attorney says he is totally against jail time. While she admits to the hoax, she pleaded not guilty before the judge's ruling, so the case can be appealed to circuit court. Russell appeared timid when she spoke inside the courtroom. Her family was seated a few rows behind her. Municipal Judge Brad Bishop also recommended Russell pay nearly $18,000 in restitution for the search which took place, something her lawyers did not disagree with.
I think anything is fair when it comes to restitution with the expenses that were done. So we have to say that's fair. They have, anytime you assert restitution, it has to be proven. And set the amount, $17,000 and some dollars, hours spent, I would think that would be fair.
Anthony says the truth of why Russell faked her own kidnapping will eventually come out. He says right now they're focused on keeping her in a good mental state.
Why do we need to hear her story? What does the picture say? It says the work is not finished yet. What work, girl? What work? There was no work to begin with.
What were you doing?
It's like, I don't understand why anybody would be interested to hear what she had to say. She literally staged a kidnapping.
You would think that she would see how things play out on social media and she wouldn't want any of this smoke, because what can she contribute? Girl, you literally wasted police resources. You lied to the public. Doesn't she? Didn't she have to pay like restitution or something?
I don't know.
I believe she ended up having to or something.
I'm surprised she didn't go to jail.
She should. I think she did. No,
Good.
I think she did.
Well, then good.
I feel like she got sentenced or something.
I don't know. I completely forgot about it. I honestly.
For me,
it was crazy.
It's so weird because it feels like it was 10 years ago, but it also feels like it was yesterday. It's so weird, the time that we live in.
I just don't know what she's going to fucking tell people. Like, girl, we don't care.
Like, who cares?
What is she going to be like, why I did it? No one cares.
Girl,
like,
we do live in the day and age of the hawk tuas and things. So, I mean, maybe she's trying to have a viral moment. Look at Gypsy Rose, girl.
I don't understand the hawk tour girl, because they said that she had like no social media prior to that viral moment. I do believe that she's a plant, because there was no social media or anything, and now she's at all of these like UFC events, walking around with security as if she fucking needs it.
It's really, truly bizarre.
It wasn't. Hawk Tua was not funny.
It wasn't even that good.
It wasn't funny. It was just something that caught people off guard when she said it. So it was like, oh, haha, drunk girl's like making a fool of herself.
Oh, I gagged.
It wasn't funny. I don't understand how a whole career was made out of this.
Like that collab, I believe she got a collab with Red Bull, because I see it on TikTok all the time.
The Hawk Tua one.
It only sold 118. Like, she's not really as important or popular as people would think.
I don't know. Maybe they should have like put her like in the Big Brother house, or maybe on some like reality show like that.
Girl, that's what Carly Russell wants. Maybe she wants to try like a stint in reality TV. I don't feel like
I don't know what she's going to talk about.
If this was the 2000s, I could see it happening, girl. I could see her getting a show, but now people aren't about that bullshit no more.
Is she just going to start like a YouTube channel? Is that what it's going to be? Is this like a soft launch of a YouTube channel?
Let's hope not.
I just don't know what she's gonna say, girl. You lied to like an entire
several times
to the entire world. People were worried for you. People were literally like sick to their fucking stomach, like worried, searching. So
all over some lies because you wanted some attention, girl.
Let's go on to the next story because honestly, I do not care what she has to say.
Okay, so now I want to talk about one of the funniest TikToks I think I've ever seen that's ever came across my feed. So you guys know with the hot water heater, that's how you heat the water in your house, right? Well, I did not know that there was people out there that thought the way this lady that I'm going to show you in this TikTok thought. But apparently they're out there. I did used to have a friend, I grew up with a lady, that thought when you got in the car didn't move, that the world moved. Yeah, my friend thought that. I always thought she was crazy when she told me that, and she was dead serious.
Sweetie, that was no friend.
No, I love her to death. She was just, I don't know what was going on with her.
From afar.
I love her to death. But you guys check out this TikTok and then we'll be back and discuss it a little bit.
So, did you know that your water company has nothing to do with like how hot that your water is when you're in the shower? Well, neither did I. You learn something new every day. So, I called Nate and I'm like, did you pay the hot water bill? And he was like, Cass, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, I got in the shower and it's freezing. Like, I like a good scalding hot shower. And he was like, you know what? Maybe I did. Maybe you should call the water company and ask them, if we paid the bill, make sure. I was like, okay, no big deal. So I call, right? And I'm like, hey, just checking to see, if we paid our hot water bill. Got in the shower this morning and it was really cold, so I need to pay it. They start cracking up. Start laughing like hyenas and hang up on me. And I thought, that was so rude. Like, why would you want somebody to have a cold shower? So anyway, I call them again and I'm like, hey, I think we got disconnected. Just making sure we paid our hot water bill. Crickets. They don't say anything and they just hang up. And I was like, oh, these are so rude people. Like, So I called Nate and I'm like, they're not answering me. They're just laughing and hanging up. Well, he starts cracking up. He was like, no, the water company has nothing to do with how hot our water is, Cass. And I was like, well, what does? He said, that big round thing that's in the closet? That's a hot water heater. That heats it up. Who knew?
So have you ever thought that when you paid your water bill, that the water company provided you with hot water?
No, definitely did not. I have never heard of someone thinking like that. I feel like people that do think that probably would care about what Carly Russell had to say. Carly Russell, what's her name? Carly
Yeah.
Russell? Yeah.
She's that forgetful.
Yeah.
We just talked about her, girl. But I thought that this was one of the funniest things ever. Have you guys ever had a story of this? A crazy story of somebody thinking something was one way, but it's obviously not?
There are some people out there that when they're married, the man takes care of everything, pays all the bills, and they are just completely X'd out of everything, don't know anything that has to do with the financials. So maybe she really did believe that there were two separate companies that she had to call up and make sure that they were paid so they had their hot water. Erica Jane, that's a good example. She says that she had no idea about any of the financials that were going on with Eric, what was his name? Tom Girardi.
Yeah.
And then who else?
Girl, I don't know, but I don't know if I believe Erica Jane either.
I don't know. So maybe this lady really did believe it.
Now, I mean, I'm not poking fun. This is all in good fun. I find humor in this, but truly, are there really people out there that think that you pay the water company for hot water?
Is there anybody out there that thought that? Please let us know in the comment section.
Seriously, I genuinely want to know because, like I said, I did have a friend that thought that about her car.
See, now that's just crazy. That is insane.
I mean,
that is so strange.
You had never had a crazy thought?
How is she doing? Do you still talk to her?
Yeah, I love her to death.
How are things?
Oh, she's good. She's good. She didn't dye her hair purple or act crazy or anything like that. She's a good person. But, I've done stupid shit, too. I remember there was a point in time when I was a kid. I love Irish Spring, even still to this day. You know that. That's my favorite body wash. That's what I smell like. That's my thing. I remember thinking that it smelled so good, it must taste good. Girl, it didn't. It wasn't. It was a learning experience for me.
I don't think that I ever did anything like that.
Not one time.
I don't think that I ever tried anything like that.
Seriously.
I don't. Not that I remember. I don't think that I ever thought that soap or body wash or anything of that nature was tasty good.
I thought,
you know what that gives?
What?
Tide Pod.
Oh.
Tide Pod. Okay.
No.
So I don't ever want to hear you judge
I guess
make fun of
that is kind of, I guess in a way that is kind of giving Tide Pod.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not ashamed of my past, bitch. There's people out here that say that they're one thing and they're totally something different.
Did you ever get soap put in your mouth by your parents for cursing or saying something?
No.
It was always threatened, but we never got it.
Oh, no, girl. I got smacked in the mouth. My mama did not play that bullshit. No, certainly not. Not in the Dailey household. But you guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below about this whole water situation. I just thought this was funny. And if you have your own experience or someone has told you something really out there and bizarre like this, let me know down below. I might do a whole video.
Like where you thought they were joking, but they were dead ass serious.
Yeah,
because the conversation
like
just
that.
continues and it just like goes on and like they do not clarify.
It just gets way more awkward as like because there's people that genuinely believe these things.
I think it's a situation like with Erica Jane. Like where they say that they don't know anything about the finances or nothing.
Well, no, girl.
So
She didn't even know what the hot water heater was.
Oh, see, that's weird. If you are living in a house, how do you not know what a hot water heater is?
She didn't even know what it was, girl. Okay, so now we need to talk about Nara Smith. Now, I've never talked about Nara before. I don't really know what the hateration is with her because I know that there's a lot of people that love her.
Well, she's apparently ripping people off.
Yeah, no, I mean, outside of that,
That's
because
what it
even
is.
before that, I've seen people hating on her for just, like, making stuff from scratch. If you can make shit from scratch, not a lot of people can do that.
It's just so, it's not for me. I understand why a lot of people like watching her content because it is very like soothing and like relaxing, and she is
It's
making
high quality
things from
content.
scratch. Because who's in their kitchen doing all that?
Certainly not us.
Hardly fucking
Certainly
anyone.
not us.
So I see the appeal with it. It's just not for me. Like the tone, it reminds me of like ASMR in a way, and ASMR really isn't for me either.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. She's supposed to be like a trad wife, right? A traditionalist wife, right? Well, a lot of people have been calling her out because she has been ripping people off for apparently some time now with content. There's several people that have called her out for that.
I've been craving a delicious red Marc Jacobs tote bag since I woke up. So instead of going to the store to buy one, I thought I would make it myself. Started by mixing my flour, eggs, and water to make the dough, all in one bowl so there weren't too many dishes. Added red food dye to my dough to give it a rich, true red color. I started kneading the dough with my hands to make sure it was silky smooth. Next, I grabbed a rolling pin to roll out the dough and started to cut out the pieces of my tote. I popped it in the oven and baked it for about an hour. When I went to the oven to check on my tote, it was perfectly risen and red, so I took it out to cool. It tasted so much better than a shop-bought tote bag. This one really hits the spot.
But now she's getting called out because she paired up with Marc Jacobs.
Yep.
Now, a lot of people don't like Marc Jacobs either because he will jump on anything that's hot. Any trend you see on TikTok, he's sending bags, girl. He's sponsoring. They're over there working them people.
Every single person that's popular on TikTok is like with a really viral moment is getting sponsored by Marc Jacobs.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're all in their bags, like literally. So Nara Smith teamed up with Marc Jacobs and she did this collab and it was her baking a bag from scratch because that's her gig, right? Well, the problem with that is apparently she ripped off another TikTok creator and she called her ass out for it.
I've been tagged and DM'd so much from the Marc Jacobs and Nara Smith video that was posted this morning. A lot of people defending me, which I'm so thankful for, saying that I did this concept back in December, which I did. I never think one person owns an idea or owns a concept. We are all in this creative field and we all take different versions of this concept and make it our own. However, I do feel like it wasn't made her own. There's actually 2 videos that I feel like she took from me and made it to be one video for Marc Jacobs. The video that a lot of my friends are referring to when they're tagging me is this video that I made back in December. There's lots of similarities, but you're right, it's not the same across the board. I'm pretty disappointed in Marc Jacobs though because I was sent this bag to make this. I made this as a gifting collab. The reason why I'm kind of upset is because it's literally half of this video and then the last half of the last video, which is Nara's video. And Nara was tagged in this video, so I know she's probably seen it, and I know Marc Jacobs has probably seen the last video. So I'm kind of upset that they let that one slide. Like I said before, I am in the creative field. Like this is what I do. I know people don't own this concept. I know Nara makes cooking videos and she's also into fashion, so it's not a stretch. In the end, I think the biggest thing that makes me sad and disappointed is that there's so many people in the comments saying that like Marc Jacobs' marketing team is a creative genius or Nara is a creative genius. Reading those comments make me really happy because deep down I'm like, oh, it's almost like they're talking about me. But yeah, my videos didn't even reach 1,000 views. So Marc Jacobs and Nara are getting a lot of praise. And it's just, this is the world we live in and it's kind of sad. But that's my 2 cents. Those are my 2 videos. I do feel like there's a lot of similarities, but I'm not mad. It's gonna be okay. We're all gonna live.
Well, because the video is like spot on, like scene for scene. It's like, girl, you couldn't come up with like anything a little more
Here's what's
original.
really crazy about it, because the girl that she ripped off, actually, the only like pay she got for that video was the tote bag
From Marc Jacobs.
Yeah, it's not really a lot when you look at the grand scheme of things. A tote bag from Marc Jacobs is what, $300 or $400?
It could be more.
I mean, it could be,
Depending on size, what it's made of.
One.
What it's made of, I don't know.
But obviously, Nara Smith ripped her off, in my opinion. The baking thing, like, is it 100%?
Now, in Nara's defense, could this have been a Marc Jacobs thing? Because sometimes with these designers, they will see something that they like or something they've done in the past and they will just want to recreate it. So if this original person that did the first video with Marc Jacobs did it and they like really loved it and it got them a lot of attention or something, they could have been like, hey, this really worked for us. Can you recreate this?
Yeah.
And send, I mean, the bag was the exact same fucking color. So it could be something like that. I don't know if credit was given. I know that credit is like a huge fucking deal. Over on TikTok, people get so upset like about recipes and all of that. So I don't know whose side to be on.
Well, here's the thing though, because this is becoming a bigger problem, because this isn't the only time I've seen like big brands ripping off smaller people. For instance, I saw a video about Kroger and this peach truck where Kroger literally photoshopped this guy's pictures from his small brand and used it on their shit.
The craziest thing in the history of our 12-year-old business happened to us today. So that's me and my wife. We started selling peaches 12 years ago, and we kind of blew up because they're legit the tastiest, juiciest, sweetest peaches you've ever had. This morning I got a Google alert for the peach truck and noticed quickly it was for Kroger's new peach truck. Yes, that Kroger is launching a truck where they sell peaches in front of the stores. Well, that's nothing we can protect. There's nothing we can do about that. However, I was shocked at the image they used. This image looks super familiar to me for several reasons. Let me show you something else. The reason it looks so familiar is because I recognize the person in the photo. That's our team member, Michael, from last summer, who sold peaches for the peach truck. That is the same image. They just edited the photo to change the branding. Here's another one, that bottom right photo. Take a look at that one. That 2 A-frames, stacks of peaches, Kroger in the background. Here's our photo. A photo from one of our stops from probably 2020. Same exact setup, same boxes. Kroger, you're a multi-billion, yes, billion with a B, dollar corporation. Do you really need to take our marketing and re-edit it on top of taking our business model? I'd love to give you the benefit of the doubt, but can you please explain to us how this is okay?
Like, it's really becoming a problem now. We see people with big companies and corporations steamrolling
They're
over
lazy.
people. It is lazy.
It is lazy. The whole team, and people are getting paid big bucks at these companies to literally put these campaigns and all this together. It's like you can't get anything original or like semi-original.
Yeah.
It has to be completely ripped off from somebody who does not have the big bucks to go after these brands.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. Kroger.
I feel like it's
better.
both on Nara Smith and Marc Jacobs, if you think about it, because they might have presented that to her and she was like, yeah, okay, well, I'll bake a bag. Or she could have been like, oh, I already have inspiration. I know what I'm going to do. And it could not be Marc Jacobs. I guess we'll never know, because there's no way Nara Smith is going to address this. She gets dragged across the coals.
They've been
all the
accusing her
time.
of ripping off content for the longest time. And some of it is very similar, but I do see the argument of like how many different ways can you make like a poached egg or something. So I don't know. Again, the content is just not for me.
Yeah. But I do think it, like, for somebody with Nara Smith's following, if she's going to, like, copy or take inspiration from, the least you could do is tag the smaller creator. If you're going to do that, at least say who inspired you so they can maybe get a little breadcrumb of something off you using their idea, you know? But I want to know what you guys think about this down below. Do you guys watch Nara Smith? I'm not really a watcher. If a video comes up, I'll watch it, but I'm not following her. And if you made it this far in this video, leave me the sun emoji, because it's really, really hot as hell in here right now.
I'm sweating. It is. It looks like it's going to rain.
I hope it does.
I hope so. It should cool off a little bit, I hope.
We shall see. But if you made it this far, don't forget to like the video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. I hope you have an amazing evening, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.